On this 80th Founders Day and the occasion when we celebrate the completion of studies at Gilman by an outstanding group of young men, it is fitting to emphasize the achievements of the class of 1977 and to pay tribute to their accomplishments. This has been an enthusiastic class which has come to enjoy the high regard of the faculty. The class as a group includes a wide diversity of talents, backgrounds, and interests, indeed remarkably so. Basically, they have been a campus-oriented group interested in making contributions within and for the school and doing them well. They have had their share of successes and their share of failures, their share of triumphs and disappointments. But to a remarkable extent, the instances of disappointment have fostered growth and greater accomplishment in the long run. Reflective of their wide diversity of talents and interests, the members of the class of 1977 have made a great variety of contributions to Gilman. They have been doers in many different areas. Their performance has been characterized more by deeds than words. They have demonstrated their personality through activity and action. Their acknowledgments include significant and especially noteworthy achievements in academics, athletics, public speaking, dramatics, music, and community service. On behalf of the faculty, I express grateful thanks to the class of 1977 for all they have done for Gilman. We take pride in each one of them and the knowledge that they have nurtured and developed their talents to a high degree. We also express gratitude for the warm and wholesome spirit which these promising young men have come to display. They are people of character. They have come together as a class, and they are reaching out to others in a true spirit of humanity. We honor each one of them today and wish them Godspeed, steadfastness, and courage in all of their future endeavors. The highest degree of scholarly excellence in the graduating class is recognized by selection as valedictorian. The selection process is based upon academic performance in all 4 of the high school years. It is my privilege to introduce to you a person who has not only achieved academic distinction, but is an individual who combines to an unusually high degree intellectual capability and consistent dedication to academic excellence in every field. He has also made a significant contribution to the school in a variety of other ways. This occasion marks his completion of 6 years as a Gilman student. I give you the valedictorian of the class of 1977, John Marshall Thompson.
Thank you, Mr. Finney. Trustees, members of the faculty, fellow students, friends. Just a few months ago, I gave my first speech before a large audience. This was part of the senior speaking contest, and I hesitated after the first sentence. I was speaking, as I usually do, merely from notes, and when I do that, I memorize the first and the last sentence and try to think the rest of the speech through. Unfortunately, the first thoughts that entered my mind were, do you really want to go through with this? And are there really 350 people out there that are interested in what you have to say? I managed to convince myself, though, to go on and finish the speech. But that speaking contest was part of an effort by many of the members of our senior class to achieve a goal, that goal being giving the best speech of the senior class. Now obviously, only one person who competed in that contest could give that best speech. Yet all of us who went after that goal benefited greatly. For one thing, it prepared me for the situation that I face today, but it also gave all of us a chance to express ideas which we felt were important. So while most of us did not achieve our goal, we all benefited greatly from it. And we saw this as a class this past fall during the United Fund Drive. There's a competition each year in which we try to raise as much money as we can, and the winner is the class that raises the most money for the cause. Well, in past years, we have not done terribly well in this competition, but this year we seem to put it all together for once. For once, as the final weeks of the contest approached, we were in striking distance of first place. As momentum kept coming, and as the last week of the contest approached, we finally got to the 100% participation mark. Yet we kept the donations coming in because we needed an extra cushion to avoid being overtaken by other classes. So as we entered the final day with a $30 lead, we decided to do a last-minute fundraising blitz. And starting during 4 meetings and continuing, as I recall, a few periods beyond that, we raised about $100 for the cause. Now, in this effort, we had people in our class giving more than they ever had before. A lot of people were probably dead broke, trying to borrow from classmates who were also broke. Yet we did get benefits from this. We gave more than we ever thought we could give. It was more than I thought we could put up as a class. Yet unfortunately, the anticlimax to the story is that we lost due to a last-minute surge by another class. Now, I think our class, now that it's graduating, may forgive the junior class for the tactics they used. But at any rate, we did derive benefits from it, and it was our striving for a goal that forced the junior class to go so far to beat us that eventually led this school to probably one of its most successful United Fund Drives ever. And this basic philosophy of the efforts in achieving a goal being as important as achieving the goal itself, this philosophy, I think, is prevalent throughout Gilman and is a fundamental part of its educational philosophy. This is a college preparatory school, yet the college goal does not become an obsession. We do not do things solely to get into a good college or to do well in college. We do not spend years preparing for a math SAT, or we do not spend months cramming at the last minute for an English course. Rather, we spend most of our class time hopefully learning how to communicate to other people, learning how to apply math in practical situations, and think about it abstractly. This is, I think, very important because it makes our high school life not just a stepping stone to a college education. Rather, it makes it a significant, full, rich, and rewarding part of our lives. And for this, I think we are all greatly indebted to those who made it possible. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Marshall. Before making the various awards which are customarily given at commencement, I want to express our thanks to the donors who have made possible prizes which recognize accomplishments in many fields. We have printed in full the data on these awards in your program. because they recall for us families and individuals who have contributed much to Gilman through the years. Also in your program is a list of awards which were made on our annual prize day, together with the names of the recipients this year. Gilman is most fortunate to have a great number of very meaningful awards, and particularly we appreciate the emphasis upon qualities of character, service, and achievement which are recalled to our minds by the wording of the award citations. Our only regret is that it is inevitable that on this occasion some do not receive the full recognition they deserve through the receiving of a prize. As has already been mentioned, the class of 1977 has made an unusually wide variety of contributions to the school, reflective of their diverse talents. And the level of achievement and contribution by many members of the class has made it extremely difficult to narrow the choice to one or two recipients for each award. We take great pride in making these awards, although we do regret that many individuals who are richly deserving are not recognized individually on this particular occasion. We are anxious, however, to have each class member take pride and to share in the pleasure and satisfaction felt by those who are recognized. Before I begin with awards in the various branches of athletics, I would like to say that this year's athletic record has been a particularly good one, and our seniors have provided excellent leadership and participation throughout the year. Some might measure the success of the year by the number of victories, which is great. To be exact, a 700 winning percentage for all varsity teams, but it also can be measured, perhaps more appropriately, by conspicuous examples of effort, dedication, and good sportsmanship which teams and individuals have set. To Mason Lord, this year's president of the Athletic Association, and to the captains of the various teams, and to all the seniors who contributed to a most successful athletic year, our sincere thanks and congratulations. The first athletic award is the Culver Football Cup, which is the large cup on the table to my left and is inscribed each year with the name of the best varsity football player in the opinion of the coaching staff. This year, the award goes to Timothy Holly, Jr. Would Timmy come forward? The C.B. Alexander, Jr. Wrestling Cup is awarded to Gilman's best wrestler in the opinion of the coaching staff. This year, the award goes to Redmond Cunningham Stewart Finney, Jr. The class of 1939 basketball trophy is awarded to that varsity player who best combines fair play, leadership, and skill. This year, the award goes to Jeffrey Reese Harris. The Tyler Campbell Lacrosse Cup is awarded to that varsity player who is most valuable to his team and who has shown leadership and true sportsmanship throughout the season. The award this year goes to Jeffrey Reese Harris. The Alumni Baseball Cup is awarded to the player who has been of greatest service to the varsity team. The award this year goes, for the second time, to Timothy Holly, Jr. The C. David Harris, Jr. Tennis Award is given to the player whose ability and dedication have made the greatest contribution to the team. For the third consecutive year, this award goes to Peter Dawson Brown. The Donald Hoffman Cross Country Cup is awarded to that boy who, in the opinion of the cross country coach, has best combined effort and achievement in cross country. This year, the award goes to a junior, Frederick Wayne Lafferty, Jr. Would he please come forward? The Frank W. Andrews Jr. Golf Trophy goes to that player who has displayed the largest measure of loyalty, dedication, and enthusiasm. This year, the award goes again to the first recipient and shared by another recipient. First recipient, William Phones Blue Jr. and James Gerard Ebeling. The Dr. Philip Whittlesey Soccer Trophy is awarded to that boy who, in the opinion of the appropriate coaches, has made the greatest contribution to the school in his soccer participation. The award this year goes to Robert Graff Merrick III. The Alfred H. Weems Jr. Memorial Track Award is given to that member of the junior or senior class who has demonstrated courage, determination, and leadership, which were characteristics of Al Weems, and for conspicuous achievement in track and field. This year, the award goes jointly to Frederick Wayne Lafferty, Jr. and to Spencer Fry Johnson. The final athletic prize is the William Cabell Bruce Jr. Athletic Prize and is awarded to the boy in one of the 4 upper forms most conspicuous for general proficiency in athletic sports and exercises during the past 2 years, and this without having incurred the reproach of questionable conduct in any respect. I might add that there were a number of very strong candidates for this award because we had some very fine athletes and some very fine participants. This year, it gives me great pleasure to present this award to Timothy Holly, Jr. Before coming to the academic awards, I want to point out that full data on all these awards has been printed in the commencement issue of the Gilman News, which will be available at the door after these proceedings conclude. The William S. Thomas Scholarship Prizes for highest scholarship in each form, emblematic of the first academic ranking in each of the four upper forms, have been provided by the will of the late Mr. William S. Thomas. Listed in your program are the names of the persons, the specific persons in whom these prizes are given, and in whose honor these prizes are given. We had a strange occurrence this year in terms of our selection of the recipients for highest scholarship. And we compute academic ranking on the basis of a quality point index, which is a weighted average. And we happen to have triple awards at the third form level and dual awards at the senior level in addition to the valedictorian. I would like to ask all of these boys to come up as a group to receive their awards. I'll read their names and then read them again so you can identify them when they're on the stage. For the third form, Latimer Stewart Naylor, Ned Charlton Sachter, and Daniel Weintraub. For the fourth form, Andrew Berrien Jones. For the fifth form, Mark Richard Paul. For the senior class, David Michael Obsler and Scott S. Solomon, and the valedictorian, John Marshall Thompson. Could you gentlemen come up on the stage? Could you hold your applause? I do want you to recognize each of these individuals. Laddie Naylor, Ned Sachter, Daniel Weintraub, Andrew Jones unfortunately had an operation on his mouth and is not here. I will deliver that personally. Mark Paul, David Obsler, Scott Solomon, and Marshall Thompson. Congratulations. In October of each year, close to 1 million juniors in this country take the National Merit Scholarship tests. From Gilman's class of 1977, there are 7 finalists and 13 letter of commendation winners. The same tests are the basis for the National Achievement Scholarships for outstanding Negro students. And we are fortunate to have a total of 4 finalists and 3 letter of commendation winners. These scores, or the scores which these young men have accomplished, place these students in the top 2% of the nation on the National Merit Scholastic Aptitude Test. And the total of all so recognized represents nearly 1/3 of the graduating class. I am pleased to report that 5 of the total number have each received $1,000 scholarship grants to the colleges of their choice. They are Frank Daly, Andy Freeman, Keenan Holt, Spencer Johnson, and Danny Shirless. And without calling their names off individually, I would like all of our merit scholarship finalists or commendation winners to please stand and receive a hand. Another award which comes to us from outside the school is the John Motley Moorhead Foundation Award, which brings to the recipient an offer of a full 4-year scholarship to the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. Gilman was first invited to participate in this program beginning with the year 1965-66, and since then has had the privilege each year of nominating two of its top students. This year's nominees are Stuart Franklin Gray and Barry Ferguson Saunders. Both have been offered the opportunity to become a Moorhead Scholar. Barry has accepted. Stuart has elected to go elsewhere. Please, would those two gentlemen stand and be recognized? I also wish to call your attention to the academic honor roll for this year's graduating class, which is enclosed in your Founders Day program. We congratulate those boys who have won this distinction, underclassmen who I'm sure are noticing that their names are omitted, who have achieved the academic honor roll will be notified in the forthcoming mailing of the final grade report, so don't panic. We now come to the awarding of prizes in various activities, service areas, and subject matter fields. The Armstrong prizes for poetry and prose are given for the best lyrical verse contributed to the school's literary magazine and for the best imaginative prose. Also, for this year only, a special award is being given by the Three Arts Club of Homeland to recognize talent in the field of creating writing. This special award is given to the recipient of the Armstrong Prize for Prose. The award for prose goes to Spencer Fry Johnson, and the award for poetry goes jointly to Andrew David Freeman and Barry Ferguson Saunders. The Elizabeth Gilman Woolsey Prize is for the best examination on books, the reading of which is not required as part of the school curriculum. This year, the prize goes to a boy who has won the Elizabeth Woolsey Gilman Junior Prize in each of the last 2 years. It goes to a junior, Lee Sangwon Bolt. Would he come forward? In regard to the Mrs. J. Crossan Cooper Debating Cup, the winning team in the school's final debate this year was the Knicks, which upheld the affirmative side of the debate on the topic, resolved that it is in the best interests of the United States to exert worldwide moral leadership on behalf of human rights, regardless of its effect on our policies of political détente and economic cooperation with Russia. It was an extremely good and close debate. The names of the winning team will be inscribed on the tall silver cup on the table to my right. I ask the members of the winning team to rise at their seats as I read their names: Barry Ferguson Saunders, William Bones Blue Jr., Daniel Robert Sherless, and Mark Allen Schuster, alternate. The Dr. John M.T. Finney Senior Debating Prizes are awarded each year to the outstanding speakers in the annual school debate. This year, They go to first speaker, Barry Ferguson Saunders, and second speakers, William Phones Blue Jr. and Daniel Robert Sherlis. The sixth form speaking prizes are awarded to the two best speakers in the annual speaking contest. The name of the first speaker is inscribed on the Jenkins Sixth Form Speaking Cup on the table to my right. The best speaker voted this year is Barry Ferguson Saunders. The second speaker is Barry Frederick Levin. The Cameron Debating Medallion is awarded for excellence in debating based on work in the fifth and sixth forms and in the final debate. This year, the award goes to Barry Ferguson Saunders. The Alec Randall Jr. Memorial Prize is awarded to that boy who has been outstanding in his interest and contribution to literary or publication activities, or has encouraged younger boys in these fields. And this year goes to Daniel Robert Sherlis. The class of 1952 Drama Prize, awarded each year to that member of the graduating class who has shown exceptional interest and aptitude in dramatics during his school career, goes this year to John Allison Downs. The Cleveland Essay Prize, formerly the John M.T. Finney Senior Essay Prize, has been redesignated in honor and memory of Mr. and Mrs. Richard F. Cleveland, who originated this award in 1939 and supported it until their deaths in 1973 and 1977, respectively. The award given each year to that member of the two upper forms who submits the best written discussion or essay on some aspect of democracy will be continued by Mr. and Mrs. John T. King III. The subject for this year's essay was, to what extent does the present presidential election process represent the way in which the Founding Fathers wished to have the chief executive elected? Among a number of very fine essays submitted, the best papers, in the opinion of the judges, were written by two boys, Andrew David Freeman and Mark Allen Schuster. The Janvier Science Prize is given to that fifth or sixth former who has evidenced real interest and ability of a high order in the field of science. This year, the award goes to John Marshall Thompson. The Herbert E. Pickett Prize for General Proficiency in History is given to the boy in one of the two upper forms who has shown the greatest general interest and proficiency in history as displayed not only in the classroom but outside as well. The award this year goes to Frank Thomas Daly, Jr. The D.K.S.D. Fisher Nature Study Award goes to that boy in one of the upper three forms who, through his studies, reading, and activities, has developed a real interest, understanding, and appreciation of some field of natural history. This year, the award goes to John Richard Eliasberg. I would now like to ask a group of boys to come forward, and I'll read their names, and I'll tell you just a little bit about them. William Moffett Baldwin, Mark Torin Brown, Sean Wallace Casey, Thomas Byrne Connor Jr., John Richard Eliasberg, Andrew David Freeman, Patrick George Martinez, Kenneth Chambers Stockbridge, and Joseph Raymond Suarez Murias. Each year since 1962, the faculty has singled out some seniors to whom we have felt especially indebted for acts of helpfulness and unsung contributions to the school which have added significantly to the success of the year. In spite of the risk of omitting a number of boys who are also deserving, I would like to present on behalf of the faculty etchings of the school to the following as an expression of our appreciation for their special examples of positive attitude and motivation and for their contributions. Each of the etchings bears an individually inscribed citation. I ask that the audience please hold their applause until I have given each boy his award. William Moffett Baldwin, Mark Torin Brown, Sean Wallace Casey, Thomas Byrne Connor Jr., John Richard Eliasberg, Andrew David Freeman, Patrick George Martinez, Kenneth Chambers Stockbridge, Joseph Raymond Suarez Murias. Congratulations. The Peter P. Blanchard Award goes to that boy who, by his cheerful helpfulness, in many ways has greatly contributed to the successful and pleasant life of this school. The award this year goes to John Allison Downs. The Edward Fenimore Award is given to that senior whose Gilman career has been marked by accomplishment in which extraordinary courage, determination, and perseverance have been manifested. This year, the award goes to Mason Faulkner Lord, Jr. Daniel Baker Jr. Memorial Award is given to a member of the graduating class who, through service and by reason of his life and character, has contributed to the general welfare of the school. This year, the award goes to Peter Dawson Brown. The last prize is the William A. Fisher Medallion, which is given to a member of the upper 5th or 6th form who has been in the school for 3 consecutive years. The medallion is awarded to a boy of high scholastic standing who has rendered the highest service that can be rendered this school by leadership based on the influence of character. The award this year goes to Stuart Franklin Gray. Service in the lower school, the primary school. It gives me great pleasure to wish her well on behalf of all of us and to award this plate on behalf of the whole school, including a long list of alumni, to Mrs. Louise Fitzell. Will she please come forward? I would also like to make a presentation to another member of the faculty who is retiring from full-time teaching. Notice I emphasize full-time teaching, and who has taught in our science department since 1941, with the exception of 4 years in the armed services during World War II. He also headed the science department from 1946 through 1974. He is a man whose devotion to scholarship and emphasis upon thoroughness has helped significantly to make his department the outstanding one in its field that it is. It gives me great pleasure to ask Mr. Frederick R. Williams to come forward. You will recall that I referred to 4 members of the faculty and staff, and I've now gotten to the 4th. It is a special pleasure to honor a member of our staff, well known to countless alumni and other members of the Gilman family, who this year celebrates her 55th year of service to Gilman School. Miss May Holmes has the unique distinction of having served as secretary to Mr. Henry H. Keller during his 20 years as headmaster, as well as those preceding him since 1916, with the exception of 4 years of a somewhat misguided tour running the McDonough School's business office. That was from 1920 to 1924. She saw the light. Noted for her truly remarkable memory, Ms. Holmes now serves, as she has for the past several years, as Gilman's official archivist. This scroll is simply a token of our respect, admiration, and very real affection for a person of unquestioned integrity, expertise in her field, and loyal and devotion above and beyond the call of duty. For 55 years of service to Gilman, Miss May Holmes, please come forward. Sitting here on the stage are two men to whom the Gilman School is greatly indebted for their leadership and hard work on behalf of Gilman. Mr. Thomas Schweitzer, Jr., who is right next to the flag, is president of the Gilman Alumni Association, an organization which plays a vital role in the life of the school. He has also served as chairman of this year's annual giving campaign, which has just achieved a record goal. Mr. William J. McCarthy is president of our Board of Trustees. He has served as a member of the board since October of 1960, as vice president from January 1969 through 1975, and he succeeded Mr. Owen Daly II as president of the board in January 1975. A distinguished lawyer and leader in the Baltimore community, it is an honor and privilege to work with him for Gilman. And it is now my pleasure to call upon him for a few words. Mr. McCarthy.
Mr. Finney, members of the graduating class, and good friends. First off, I'd like to say, Redmond, you certainly got me a good seat right over here with all these very fine awards coming right into our section there, and I join in congratulating all of these outstanding young men. As most of the class, if not all of the graduates could tell us, when a scientist such as Mr. Williams mixes two elements in a chemistry experiment, exciting things can happen. And this phenomenon is equally applicable to our own Gilman community. In our Gilman formula, I would suggest that our critical elements that are mixed together are, on the one hand, people, and on the other hand, commitment. People and commitment. The people to whom I refer are our students, our faculty and staff, our alumni, our parents and friends, and our trustees. The commitment of which I speak can take many forms. For example, from the student end, the ability or the willingness to study that extra hour or two when it would be easier simply to bag it. To compete or perform when it hurts a little bit. To work a little bit harder. To spend a valued Saturday morning working to the benefit of other youngsters. That, to me, is student commitment. Faculty commitment. Examples are numerous. Meeting a student at 8 a.m. to work out a possible potential deficiency in an academic course. Spending long hours in the afternoons and evenings in the fields of athletics and other areas of student activity beyond the regular teaching curriculum. In our parents and friends group, so many examples: staffing our school stores, assisting in our library, our medical facility, publishing our new Greyhound newsletter. All examples of people and commitment. Alumni commitment includes fostering the continuity of Gilman's spirit, the ongoing support of our school programs, and our financial needs. Commitment includes attendance at functions just such as this. The trustees' commitment is represented in part by their multiple participation in numerous meetings by which the school operates here on campus, whereby some of us, I think, happily so, begin to feel that this is indeed our second home. In my judgment, then, we here at Gilman can make a mix of elements of people and commitment that will be just as exciting for us as the scientist in his laboratory. The positive proof for our Gilman compounding is typified by today's graduating class. To all of you, student, faculty, friends, parents, trustees, alumni, to all of you, you people who are also vital elements in the Gilman formula, we, the school, are deeply grateful. Thank you very much.
We now come to the awarding of diplomas to the members of the graduating class of 1977. As is our custom, the diplomas will be presented to the members of the graduating class by the President of the Board of Trustees. The order of distribution has been determined by random selection. First of all, I would like to ask the father of one of our seniors, Dr. Everett Jones, to come forward to receive the diploma for his son, Mark Alexander Jones, who has spent his senior year in Norway under the auspices of the American Field Service and will be returning home in the middle of July. Would Dr. Jones come forward and receive the diploma for his son? Secondly, it has been our great pleasure and privilege this year to have with us, also under the auspices of the American Field Service, a young man from Finland who has been a member of our senior class since last September and will today receive a Gilman diploma. Pekka Juhani Melko. William Moffett Baldwin. Daniel Robert Sherlis. James Christopher Wyatt, Jr. Peter McAvoy Pinkard. Richard Goldsboro Lundvall. John Allison Downs. Timothy Holly, Jr. Andrew David Freeman. James Gerard Ebeling. Peter Reynolds Van Cleek. George Summers Brush. John Marshall Thompson. Mark Allen Schuster. Robert Harris Cooper III. David Roberts Pierce. Gerald David Marcus. It's Gerald, I apologize. David Burnham Foster. Julian Anthony Eccleshaw. Peter Dawson Brown. George E. Banks IV. Mark Torin Brown. Lawrence J. Jackson. Thomas Byrne Connor, Jr. Frank Rhodes Capiello. David Michael Obsler. Ronald William Shelton. Raymond Anthony Morris. William Joseph Law II. John Frederick Kaufman. Frederick Barclay Haller. Sean Wallace Casey. Todd Layton McDaniels. Edward Arthur Weish. Robert Walker Baker. Joseph Raymond Suarez Murias. John Lincoln Brooks. Peter Alexander Previs. Patrick George Martinez. Brian Robert Dubin. Robert Morris Heisel, Jr. Redmond Cunningham Stewart Finney, Jr. Herbert Mayle Edgerton. John Somerville Wickham Zimmerman. Kenneth Chambers Stockbridge. James Piper Bond. Stuart Symington Reenhoff. Robert Graff Merrick III. Robert Shannard Johns. Jeffrey Reese Harris. John Richard Eliasberg. Frederick Lorenzo White, Jr. Daniel Randall Byrne, Jr. Frederick Dell Steinman. Barry Ferguson Saunders. Edward Lee Mitzel. Spencer Fry Johnson. Raymond Carlos Gonzalez. Bryson Richard Ellinghaus. William Phones Blue, Jr. Charles Frederick Tipper. Sidney Robert Traub. Henry Matthews Warfield. Peter Wharton. William Robert Whitehurst. John Stinson Zanders. Paul Robert Schuster. Mark Allen Osler. Barry Frederick Levin. James Trappier Jervy III. Paul Kevin Englert. Keenan Stephen Holt. William Thomas Dixon III. Gary Matthew Campbell. Scott S. Solomon. James William Scriba. Robert E. Cranley III. Heiko Uwe Osterkris. Mason Faulkner Lord, Jr. John Allen Dandy. David Tyler Gerhardt. Francis Thomas Daly, Jr. Morgan Wingate Pritchett. Walter William Weems Bowie. Thomas Keller Seiler. Timothy Gerard O'Shea. Timothy Chadwick Lambert. Stuart Franklin Gray. I'd like to add that until you're off the stage, out of the building and off the campus, you're still under the authority of the Gilman School. I'd like to ask Mr. Bond to please put his tie back on, please. Let's preserve our dignity at least for these few more moments. Let us now conclude on a serious vein with the hymn which we believe is the school hymn, Our God, Our Help in Ages Past, and then the final stanza of America. Thereafter, we will remain standing for the benediction by the Gilman School chaplain, the Reverend Lawrence A.M. LaPointe. Following the benediction, I ask that the audience please remain in their places until the students have left the hall. The graduates will remain in front of the stage to speak to faculty and friends. Let us now rise and sing Our God, Our Help in Ages Past.
Before I address God, I'd like to address you just briefly and thank you for the very warm greeting that you gave me this afternoon, and to thank you for the past really 11 years, during which time I've had some association with Gilman. I should precede this benediction by saying that although I have been somewhat popular as a public prayer over the past week at various commencement exercises, I don't really believe that any of those prayers had quite the heart or the feeling in it that this one does. Let us bow our heads in prayer. Heavenly Father, we ask that you look upon all of us here gathered in this hall this afternoon. We ask especially your blessing upon the graduating class of 1977. They have had varied numbers of years here at this school, and the impact of it and the lives that are a part of it have varied depending upon that time and depending upon their character. They, each of them in their turn, have left some part of themselves behind through their contributions, through their achievement. We thank you, Lord, for the blessing which you have given us in men such as these, who give of themselves freely and who in the giving receive. We ask that the underclassmen who remain behind may garner some bit of the enthusiasm and the vigor which characterizes this class. We ask that your blessing be showered also upon the faculty and the administration of this school, which strives in its every action to exemplify the best parts of its educational philosophy, and which realizes, I believe in full, the great cost in personal investment which is required in order to bring that philosophy into action. Lord, we ask your blessing as well upon the staff of this school, which, although it may receive little public recognition, is no less dedicated in its service to the school's philosophy and to the students, which are in fact the school. We ask your blessing upon our trustees, who with their concern and their wisdom strive to share the best of themselves to make the school the best place it can be. We ask your special blessing today upon the parents of these graduates and of all the boys of this school. They who by their sacrifice and by their example have led them to where they are today. Continue to give them the strength and the encouragement they need now that they have seen at least some of their sons through adolescence, to bear with them through the times that may be more gracious and lie ahead. We ask your blessing upon our alumni, amongst whose number this class is now included, that in their lives they may exemplify the best characteristics that the school has enjoined upon them throughout their years here, that they may be unselfish in service, that they may be untiring in their zeal, that they may be loyal to this institution and remember it in the future as the times may happen when it will stand in sore need of that remembrance. We ask that you comfort them when they are tired and afflicted, that you support them when their trials are great, and that you be with them especially when they rejoice and may be more inclined to forget you than when times are more difficult. All these things, Heavenly Father, we ask in a spirit of community, for community we are, though divided in faith and race and socioeconomic background. We have one thing in common, and that is this school. That school has made us one as your love has made us one in a true fellowship. Continue to bless us with that unity and fellowship now and all the days of our lives. Amen.